2020 Tantra, Crown Tantra, info in the description. What's up, YouTube? So, you're made up of a bunch of cells, and in one breath you might have positive thoughts or, be inclined to positive thinking to try to get you out of something or to give you like momentary comfort. You think of something good or remind yourself of something good, but that's just in that one breath. So if all your cells are scattered as far as the direction in life, because if you don't know the direction in life, then all your cells is already scattered. The will is not centered, and the trajectory isn't centered. So they're all in chaos and under duress. So you might reach a small portion of the cells that are actually relaxed in this breath. So you train them a little bit, but if you were to slow the breathing down to 1 or less breaths per minute, then the cells would take that instruction a lot deeper, because if you put the body into trance, then everything in the body goes into trance. Everything, the cells, the parasites, everything goes into trance when you go put the body into trance. So that's when you can direct it, and then the beast no longer steers itself. It is the steering wheel, so don't let it steer itself, and don't leave it up for grabs. So like if you fully inhabit the body, you're gonna fully experience life. You're going to fully feel life, and life will feel you, and then all your satisfaction will change as far as what satisfies you and the different echelons of desire, if you want to call it that, because your true desire is non-desire. The truest you doesn't have to do anything, or it doesn't have to live by lies or live by illusions just to live. It doesn't have to live by that. It has to live through your body. So it doesn't do anything that wants to hurt your body. So anything that pushes you away from your body or out of your body, away from the breath, really, then you already know. Like it's not. If it's repetitive, then it's not the truest you that's going off. That siren going off. Parasites sound exactly like you inside of you. So the voices in your head, you have to realize that is a faculty itself. It's like the microphone. So you are the observer. The Nebuchadnezzar, or Amen-Ra, or the Tao, or whatever you want to call that, man. Whatever the observer is, the watcher. You're not that which is talking. That is a god or a faculty of God. The body is a collection of gods, essentially. The different areas of the body everything's named after gods. All the muscles and stuff is named after Greek gods and stuff. So once you realize the body, the original body, the original tree of life, and you're more inclined to originality and organic, then it's just a different way of looking at the body, looking at the thoughts, because thoughts and emotions are places on the body, or that is the tree of life. So you're observing the tree of life from inside out always. So once you stop identifying with the auditory thought, and the visuals too, the auditories make you click into trance into the visuals. So the parasite will mimic your voice, then you'll click into the visual, then your body will go there, part of your cells will go there, you'll visualize it. You might be in one place present, but then you're thinking and daydreaming in another place, part of your cells are going there. That's because the parasite can stream to those part of your cells, basically. It's infected that part of the tissue, because the body's basically just layers of tissue, layers of skin. So something got under your skin at some point, really, because people don't want, they want attention. It's not, that's what it's a lot of people just missed attention in their development, and then that presence wasn't there. So then they look for it outwardly, and then they get tired, then they have kids, and they try to live their childhood through their kids, and then since they didn't heal, it's impossible to be present, so then it just repeats. So it's all about getting them all on the same page, all the cells, taking it in a trance, slow breathing, then you can, really slowing it down for like an hour, 2 hours a day at least. That's minimum. That's minimum 2 hours a day. You should be diaphragmatic breathing. An hour in the morning, an hour at night. It's not difficult to do that. You make time and space for all these other things. You're making time and space for parasites, essentially. Every time you give up your energy to an external thing or to chasing a thing, your body is energy. So you're giving up a space, and your body is space. So you're giving up a space in the body when you give up energy. So you got to realize that every time that you give up the breath for an object, for chasing an object, or some state of being that isn't the now, that you're giving up space in the body for a sight, And You'd rather do it in a more gentle way, as far as like attracting a remote viewer. You'd rather do it in a more gentle way, as far as like, ancestry and, true love, true awareness. It wouldn't be just haphazard, random, like, I welcome anything into my body because I'm open, I'm free. That's what free means. Available, cheaper than cheap. So you want to get all the cells on the same page. All the cells have to have that same self-respect. So for the continuity, so that you can maintain a trajectory, the true path, the true you that's on the true path, and stay on that, stay with that body, stay in alignment with that, keep the body in alignment with that. Because if you get all your cells on the same page and you're fully experiencing experiences, then you don't need to do them over and over and over again. People get drunk and get high and do all the things over and over again because only part of them really experienced it, because they're only partly in their body. So if you're changing the course and then you change the ripples, whether you consciously bring an ancestor back, they're starting from being fully incarnated, instead of it taking 30 years to fully incarnate, because it takes 29 years for your brain to fully develop. And every time that we take injections of light that we didn't need, we offend the internal light. The internal light gets lost when you take in external light, and it was forced down our throats because it was forced down the throats of those. It's just a repetitive cycle thing. So at this point, it's just about allowing the breath to catch you, slowing the breathing down, because you release the toxins through respiration more than anything. Full diaphragmatic breaths to where you get the circulation, because the blood is you. The blood is basically liquid consciousness. So the blood is what inhabits the body. That is like basically the self in physical form, if you want to look at it. So wherever there is in circulation is where the parasites well up at. That's where the eggs start, because it takes a million eggs can get laid in a day from one parasite. So you got to look at it like that. You got to really look at it like it's pretty much a war for our bodies at this point in this environment, until we can gradually become more organic as a species. So at this point, it's not it's really about healing from the inside out, and then the world will just unfold that way as well, and we won't see separation in it. So our cells, again, are not separate from somebody else's cell. Your pineal is connected to everyone else's pineal. Every cell is basically a house in the body, or a room in the house of the body. So, and you could look at every person like they are a cell. So everything is connected. It's always so if your pineal cells aren't online like they could be, then you don't connect in those rooms where the others do. It's that simple. So we're taking care of this overall body as one. So I mean, and at this point, it's like this little light of mine. You can't let the vamps in. You have to fully heal yourself, because that's inside. It's inside out growth. The vamps don't even know they're vamps. People identifying with voices in their head. It's already letting you know. I mean, you just gotta look at people where they put the energy. Where is their energy going? It's not about what they have. It's about where the energy's going. Where do you see the energy going? And if you can't see, then that means you're not online anyway. You need visual thought. Visual thought is more so being online. If it's all auditory for you, you are in the subconscious. You are in a sea of darkness. In that sense, there's no light on. You got to cultivate that. You have to really brush and cleanse to cultivate that inner light to return to the source of light. So that's really about it. It's just slowing that breathing down, getting one or less breaths per minute, and at that point, it's impossible to not appreciate. Like I would say, I'm trying to tell you, like, you gotta appreciate, and you gotta need mantras. As you do 2 or more hours of breathing a day, it's impossible to not appreciate the now moment. And then the more you appreciate, the more you appreciate. So that's it. I got 30-something books online in PDF. You can get them in Kindle on Amazon. I'll do the herbal packages for you as well if you send me your symptoms. I'll be in California fasting from the middle of June on, and I'm on the East Coast now until then. And we can do consultation if you'd like. Again, you get all 37 audiobooks or whatever it is with all 37 ebooks with 2 audiobooks for 100 or 10 each. You get, each one, whether it be breath levels or whatever it is. 2020 Tantra is where a lot of people should start, though, to realize the degradation and realize that it's so much abundance, really, really, really.